I'm Mark Steewart Greenstein. I am a candidate for the state senate, and I wanted to share what earlier this evening I spoke about with the West Hartford Republican Town Committee. And to their great credit, they allowed me to speak because I'm still a Democrat. Now, in a lot of ways, I am on the side of conservatives who sat in that room, and I think conservatives across the state will like this campaign because I am the candidate whose main mission here is to put the name Democrat, that's Derek Slapp, in third place. And I do this by making sure people realize what you're getting when you have allies of the Josh Elliott wing, the far-left progressives that have grown in this state. They're the ones who are going to bankrupt us. They're the ones who are planning, they're already achieving restrictions on business. They want to take over schools in the name of, well, they name it all sorts of things, but the nice schools that have been built up at Lewis Mills, Farmington High, the two West Hartford high schools, say bye-bye to the goodness when regionalism, a form of equity, according to the progressives, takes over. Nice little school you got here. It would be a shame to have anything happen to it. I'm not saying. Well, just be on the lookout. That's the thuggish mentality that's going to invade every good, well-run suburban school in favor of administrative bigness, which can never be as well run. People who have built families in West Hartford and Farmington and Burlington and came here because of good schools, they're in jeopardy. People who built businesses in this district are going to see their energy costs go even higher, the restrictions on them get even tighter, the ability to work with labor the way they want to get more and more restricted. That's the progressive agenda. It seems like Derek Slapp is on that side. Now, if surprisingly he is not, and he is like your father's Democrat, well, then we're a lot more in sync than I thought. But then I would endorse Derek elevating himself in the House. I would like to see him maybe become a replacement for Joe Arasimowicz, the Assembly Speaker from Berlin. I don't think Derek has that mentality, but put him on the spot. Let's see. And I do want to have as one of my two messages to the Republicans who are listening, make this a loud race. Make sure that candidates are candid and they're not getting away with namby-pamby answers that are politically adept but aren't really positioning themselves. People need to know what to expect, especially in a Connecticut whose financial circumstances are so dire. We can't afford the Josh Elliott wing. Connecticut is at the top still of a slowly swirling death spiral. As it gets closer and closer to the vortex, as you sink lower and lower into that maelstrom, it gets faster and faster and harder to pull us out. I don't want to be any lower. The progressive wing doesn't care. They understand economics. They don't care because they profit from more control, because then a few of their friends, a few of their privileged groups have it their way at the expense of we who work. Just put the progressives on the spot. Why do you want to continually pay people who don't want to work? That in itself should be a distinguishing point between everybody who wants to make Connecticut better and those who want to see it languish. So what are the chances for an independent Democrat to make a big enough stink that maybe puts him at number 1 or number 2 with the name Democrat at number 3? Well, look, West Hartford is pretty independent, okay? Oz Griebel got more votes in West Hartford than any other town, more than even his own town. West Hartford, I don't think, is as progressive as the progressive leaders would have you believe. But they've had no choice. And that's true across the state when you feel that our Republican is a scarlet letter. And the more Trump speaks, the worse it gets for Republicans. So I'm hopeful that those who consider themselves independent and those who are Democrats that are not far leftists that want to destroy the country realize that there are a lot of people, that there's a lot of sentiment for not being as far left as the leadership wants to take you. I can be an ally to Republicans. I mean, I am pro-gay rights. I am Black Lives Matter. I am a Jew from West Hartford. These things are ones that I think are easy issues to let Democrats separate themselves and know that they really still have an ally if they vote my way. I hope you'll have the vocalness that we've seen in other places. Don't make this a quiet race. My other imprecation, I hope you will be inclusive in everything you do, because it is something that condemned in the last couple weeks the West Hartford Democrats for not being as democratic as they could have been. Okay, other contenders for their endorsement just got shunted aside in favor of the higher status Derek. Be open to rank and file and even outsiders as you have been to me, and I think you'll win a lot of votes. Thank you again.